speaking of Baby Hitler, if you want a movie to watch that kind of makes you feel bad about what's going on right now, go watch Downfall. I watched that the other day, and just like seeing some of the stuff like that they're doing at like Hitler in the last days in the bunker, and I'm like, oh, that's a little bit close. Like there was a moment where I think Hitler was talking about like the sin of compassion. And I'm like, okay. Wow. We really are repeating fucking history here.
Yeah.
Yep. We're just bringing it all back.
It's rough.
I'm going to get some water.
Yeah. Okay. Go get some water. You're never alone in hell. This is episode 385 of Insert Credit, a podcast where the insight and alacrity of our video game discussion is matched only by the horribleness of our buzzer. My name is Alex Jaffe, and I'm here to say I'm hosting this podcast in a major way.
I'm Frank Cifaldi. I'm here to say you should drink more water today.
Good advice.
Okay.
I'm Ash Parrish, and first things first, I'll eat your brains, and then I'm gonna start rocking gold teeth and chains.
Okay.
Boy, I don't want to do it.
Fair warning to us all.
I don't want to do it. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm Brandon Sheffield, and I don't know what I'm here to say. That's my amazing rhyming that I've done for you.
Well, you better get on the ball because I'm expecting you all to bring it.
Get on the trolley.
Yeah, get on the trolley. We've only done 385 of these.
I'm still warming up.
Yeah. Mike Drucker was our guest in our last episode. We had a good old time with him. And he spent his credit, which he grabbed against my will in that episode, to ask a question to start this one. Mike Drucker asks, what's an exactly correctly rated game? Not underrated, not overrated, perfectly rated.
You severely overestimate our ability to recall the actual monetary values of game ratings. Who does that?
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
was monetary the right word?
Or
no,
numerical.
Everything's money to Ash Parrish.
Yeah. Monetary is correct because that
gotta afford those gold teeth and chains.
All reviews are purchased. I don't know if you remember that.
Right.
Oh, right. I do remember that.
And also everyone's salary is based on Metacritic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this might be a goofy one, but I do think that Deadly Premonition is correctly rated in its extremely polarizing 1s and 10s, landing about a 7 or below. I think that's it's definitely, that's a correct one that I can call to mind right now.
I'm on Metacritic right now. Do you all want to guess Deadly Premonition's rating? And that way we can determine whether or not the game is correctly rated.
6.5.
Oh, I was going to also say, 65, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say like 68 or 70.
68 exactly.
Yeah.
Boom.
There we go.
Brandon, you're in the lead.
We were within the standard deviation.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I kind of feel like, you can sort of replace the title, but that is every answer is a Deadly Premonition. Something that is polarizing that ends up at like a 60 to 70. I can't think of anything that's like, perfectly highly rated or perfectly,
I can.
What's up? What's up, Ash?
Yes,
I can, and I'm going to do that thing I always do where I let recency bias color my judgment, and I'm going to say The Blueprints, which is at a 92% on Metacritic right now. The game just came out today. I haven't written my review yet, but I am going to do that later this week. It is a 92-ass game. It is very good. There was some criticism floating around about it because there was one of the outlets, I don't know which one it was, decided to call it a Metroidbrania, and people who hate the term Metroidvania got all up in their panties about it, which...
I think Metroidbrania is a much worse term. But
I don't, because I understand exactly what they mean when they say it. And if you have a term like that and you understand exactly what they mean when they use it, even though it is jargony, it still works for me.
The problem is there's already a brain in Metroid.
Exactly.
Mother brain.
There's a mother brain in there. So it doesn't, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't give me the right vibes. But I will agree that there are some games at the top end that I think are correctly rated, like Breath of the Wild, for example. Like any super polished Nintendo product is rated pretty accurately when you think of how if you think of a classic ratings style of the graphics, the gameplay, etc., then I think
I don't know if that's
Breath
in the
of the
spirit
Wild,
of the question, though.
I need you to put your money where your mouth is on the monetary value of this rating. What is the rating of Breath of the Wild?
91.
Ash?
I was going to say 95.
Yeah, I was going to go 94.
97. Ash is the closest on that one.
Good Lord. Okay. Maybe that's a little high.
That's a little too high.
It's a little too high. All right.
Yeah, we all knew it was in the 90s. I think it's in the 80s. So I don't agree.
I was going to say 75, honestly.
Wow.
Blast.
Oh, Ash, you and I have something in common with this game. Okay.
And that's not because I think it's a bad game. I just think that there is a certain subset of people that I think Frank and I are in that bucket where we have a tendency to like drag the average down because most people like think it's an incredible game that should get 100s across the board. And to be clear, it's a great game. I just don't think it's that great. I don't know. Great game. Had amazing emotions playing it. Maybe not a 95. Like, I would put it at a 75. And that's a good game. I think most, or the best, honestly, the best games with the best experiences are not in the 90s. They're like in the 70s and 80s, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well,
Deadly Premonition.
Now that we know that the new Mario Kart is going to be $80, maybe we should start tying monetary value to Metacritic scores. Maybe you pay $90 for a 9 out of 10 game.
Oh, no. I don't like it.
I don't like that either.
This is a bad future.
Yeah. All the insert credit favorites are around $69 to $70.
I think these AAA games should be like $200, so I don't care.
Nobody would buy one.
Okay, next question. Ash, you just got back from covering your first console press event for the Switch 2.
And boy, are my arms tired.
I want to know about how tired your arms are.
Like, did you have to move that mouse around? Like,
yes,
really
legitimately.
hard?
I meant that. Like, I do not like the mouse functionality, and I got to use it, and like, I don't have issues with like my joints or anything like that, but just the physical action of turning this Joy-Con to put your hand in the same configuration as a mouse is awkward. And then moving like that is like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't. And after, especially playing the 3v3 wheelchair basketball game, which was like great concept, just the actual physical act of it, executing the motion, just, it doesn't feel good.
It looked really unpleasant to be scraping those things on the table. And it's also very, I guess we talked about it a little bit last time, but it's a very strange aesthetic that gives me Bomberman Act Zero vibes. It's odd. And
I'll say this again, because I said it in like all the video things that I did and the write-up that I did for it. Like there was nothing at that presentation that sold me on the vision that Nintendo has for it. Like, it's cute with the 3v3 basketball or whatever. It's absolutely atrocious trying to do that with Metroid Prime 4. It's just not good at all. Like, give me a goddamn straight up traditional controller to play that shit. I didn't like playing it in the split Joy-Con mode or in the mouse mode at all. There was like with arms, like for the regular Switch, you saw the vision of the Joy-Cons. Like, you got that. You saw the visions of the Wiimote with Wii Sports. Like, I get this. This makes sense. It's fun. We don't have that yet for the mouse. So let Nintendo cook. I think they can come up with something because they've done it before. It's just not there yet.
Well, hang on. So one thing bothered me about all the coverage, something that I didn't see anyone report on. Maybe you can fill us in. Did Nintendo feed you?
Yes. So Frank is referencing there was one report about the food, the buffet.
Yes, they did
at the event.
Oh, was there one report about the buffet?
Oh, I thought you were joking. No.
Oh, someone did report on the food?
Yes, joking. I thought you were referencing that.
No, there was a whole someone went and interviewed everybody about the food at the event.
What? Oh, my joke was that nobody would possibly do that.
No, they did.
Well,
I know who that. Are you talking about Ethan Gatt?
Welcome to bold new frontiers in video game journalism, old man.
Maybe insert credit actually did affect the world in some way, because that's very insert credit report.
No, yes, and I actually participate. If we're talking about the same thing, because I only saw one person talk about it, and it's my friend Ethan Gatch, who still works at Kotaku. He did it for his little newsletter, Dead Game, which you should subscribe to, because he saw me bitching on Twitter or somewhere about how fucking terrible the food was at this place. Like, it was really, really, really bad.
I actually didn't know that anyone talked about the food. So,
it was not great.
Well, tell me about the food. I don't want to
Some people loved it.
This up.
They had spaghetti. They had ravioli.
No, it was Asian food. Like, they had like gochujang beef and like General Tso's chicken. They had some kind of chicken dish. I don't think it was General Tso's. I don't remember what it was now. But it was so bad. Like, it was inedible. Like, the meat had this like grainy texture to it that like you didn't want to eat at all. The rice, like, I love white rice. Like, white rice to me is how you determine if like a Chinese place is like any good at all. And the rice was filled with like spinach or like some kind of green leafy vegetable that was cooked. I think it might have been bok choy, but it was also cilantro rice. So we're combining our Mexican Asian fusion here. That was fucking terrible. And I was so hungry. It was so bad. I couldn't eat. The funny thing was that I keep saying is that Nintendo had these like people in full suits. Like, so, when you go to a catered events, people will wear like a black shirt with like black pants and a black apron. And that's how like they're with the catering staff. No, these people were like in full, like differently colored suits, and they were taking plates away. And every time they took a plate away, it was full of food because nobody wanted to eat that garbage. And it messed me up because like I couldn't eat any of it because it was so bad. And that was such a long day. Like, I worked like maybe 14, 15, more than that hours, like going to the event, doing all the things, then going back to the Verge headquarters and like recording videos and all kind of shit. Like, it was 9:00. Like, I was there at 7:30 in the morning. It was 9:00 before I could like stop and have like a real meal. I thought I was gonna kill everybody because I was so damn hangry.
It is funny to thinking back on that article. There is a breakdown among people who thought it was fine and people who didn't like it, in my opinion, between people who have been going to these press junkets for a very long time. I know what you're talking
about because it was,
Because all the people who have, there were people who were just like, it was a press event, it was fine.
Yes, and that guy was my old boss from Kotaku, Steven Totillo. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Steven. Like, come on. I know exactly what you meant because I read that too, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, Steven.
They had, like, I think the metric is they had something other than sliders. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the seasoned vet metric.
Frank and I used to go to those like every week, basically, because there were multiple publications in San Francisco, and so everyone would hold their minor press events at a bar within walking distance of the 4 offices, press offices that were in San Francisco.
That's time.
Boom.
Oh, I will spend a credit. Nope.
Told that story too many times.
Okay.
I will spend 2 credits, actually. Brandon, finish your thought.
You
and
have
I'm going to add
to
my own thought.
Oh,
Yes,
you don't need me. You go ahead. I've said it enough.
All right. Then I'll spend the credit on me. On the off chance that Steven Totillo is listening to this, know that I said, shut the fuck up, Steven, with nothing but love.
Yeah.
So, just in case.
Yeah.
And I mean that. I'm serious.
Yeah,
sincerely.
Steve is one of our biggest subscribers. I think if we upset him, I think we lose half our monthly budget. He's our whale investor. So all due respect to Steven.
Yeah, he's taken all the money that he gets from doing GameFile and he pumps that back into insert credit.
Into insert credit.
Yeah, that's
our number one fan. All right. Speaking of minor events, I want to ask, what do you think of
Minecraft? Kids?
What do you think a Minecraft movie is?
Mm-hmm. That's yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand the question. I refuse to answer it.
It was the question, what do I think the Minecraft movie is?
No, what do you think a Minecraft movie is?
I think a Minecraft movie in the current era is a cash grab. It's a cash grab. That's what a Minecraft movie is, right?
A Minecraft movie is the reason why you don't have Tenacious D anymore.
I guess that's true. Not solely. I think that's one component of Jack Black's great Nobunaga ambition to be in every video game movie.
Yeah.
He's got to keep up that family-friendly vibe.
Yeah.
So you can't make
He's got to be Bowser. He's got to be Claptrap. He's got to be Steve.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Claptrap. There was a movie.
There was a Borderlands movie.
Yeah.
Oh my
Which
God.
I will go on the record on saying that wasn't that bad.
Interesting.
Huh.
Interesting.
Well, I think a Minecraft movie is about an hour 41.
Yeah.
Is it?
Not the yeah, I just looked it up. I just Googled. I don't know. That's the big box on top of the Google right now. It says an hour 41.
That sounds.
I didn't look past that.
That shows impressive restraint. I would assume it would be over 2 hours. Like everything else.
Then if you scroll down, Wikipedia says 101 minutes, which is the same thing, actually.
Which is the same thing.
Math. So I believe it's accurate.
What's the monetary value of that?
Not enough. Well, apparently all of the money, because it's making all of the money. Because
a Minecraft movie is currently 46 on Metacritic, so $46.
Yeah, everybody hates it.
Yeah,
but
children famously do not have taste. So
yeah,
I mean, like I don't know.
They could.
Like, I mean, the Super Mario movie was also just nothing, and that's fine. It's okay. Like making the movie out of the thing has always been nothing.
Yeah,
actually, the Super Mario Brothers movie has the exact same Metascore as the Minecraft movie.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're both 46 on the dot.
I actually like the Mario movie. I thought it was much better.
I assumed that the Mario movie would be in the 80s.
I would have assumed that too.
Just kind of watched it and went, "Yay, it's Mario," and clapped like Ash.
Yeah. Well, you've fallen into the clap trap, Frank.
Well, I mean, like it's a product. It's a marketing product, and I think if anyone like has any expectation out of a Minecraft movie being anything but a product to sell tickets and make kids excited about the brand, they're delusional. That's all it is, and that's fine. That's just the world.
I'll also say I think it is possible to make a cool Minecraft movie.
Yeah, but why would they?
Yeah, they don't need to.
Yeah.
But I believe it is possible.
Yeah.
I believe
Just
that
do
you
the
could
thing
do it.
and give them something that they can meme, and you have a license to print money, which is exactly what they're doing. I don't give a shit about the Minecraft movie. My husband and I are discussing the potential to, at least for me, because he doesn't consume THC products, get high and go see it at the $5 movie theater, and just as a thing to do. So we haven't decided if that's what we're going to do, but it's on the list of potential weekend activities.
I mean this with love, Ash, but from what I have heard about him, I would have believed that your husband would have seen the premiere of the Minecraft movie.
No.
No.
He isn't. No. I don't think he's ever played Minecraft outside of like a little bit when it first came out, but like not since then. He's a dork. He's not that kind of a dork.
Yeah. I feel like he's more of a hardcore type than
he's not
than
that
a
either.
Minecraft type.
I meant for like the meme potential, because a lot of people are seeing this movie like ironically.
Huh.
No, he's not that type
like in
either.
a Rocky Horror sense.
Really?
But he would,
Yeah.
like he loves Rocky Horror. Like, yes, that, but not this.
I'll leave the movie alone, you
I know.
ironic freaks.
I
Come
don't
on.
care.
It's a
I
kid's
do not
movie.
care.
Leave it alone.
Exactly. Not for me.
It's apparently a major problem. My friend Josh, who works in childcare, has had to see this movie many times by now because that's what the children want to do. There's a lot of disruption at this theater, the same way that like there was at the last Minions movie.
Well, there's also not a whole lot of options for the kids at the movie theater.
Yeah, we
right
don't
now.
make movies for kids anymore.
No.
Or at least we don't do theatrical releases of kids' movies anymore. You put Paw Patrol on Disney Plus, you call it a damn day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
it's more for distracting your children in the home than taking them to an event. Because I think they've realized that it's not that fun for parents to have to take their children to a room full of more children.
Yeah, the biggest children's movies of the past 10 years have been like Pregnant Elsa Counts to 10 with Spider-Man on YouTube.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Yeah.
And this is the equivalent of one of them big plastic clamshell white VHS case kind of movies. That's not Disney. It's one of those. It's
I love
an
you buy it.
Anastasia ass movie.
Yeah.
All right.
We used to have those white clamshell things, and one of the things that like broke my heart is when we had a fire in our apartment. They got infused with the smell of smoke, so we had to throw them all away because my mom didn't want to smell them anymore. So all we had were the naked VHS tapes,
Oh,
and they
wow.
were so good because the art was like so fun, and yeah, they were fun to chew on.
Yeah, that's time. All right. I've been going through my list of questions that I've marked to be revisited later that I've had going for a couple of years now.
Uh-oh.
And this is one of the earliest ones that I do not remember the context for. But just for the sake of clearing it off my backlog, I'm going to ask it. Who would you go back in time and cancel?
Oh, I don't remember this at all.
No.
Who would I go back in time and cancel?
Okay, so I think the spirit of the question is someone who is currently canceled. But I think if you want to, we can answer it in terms of someone we would like to cancel now.
Yeah.
Just technically we can go back in time and do it.
Or cancel before they could do anything.
We're trying to change timelines.
Again, that's the spirit of the question.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just going to offer that if we take the question literally, we can cancel anyone in the world as long as they weren't born today.
Yeah.
Ash, you had something.
It's not related to video games at all. But I had
I didn't mention video games in the question, did I?
Good point. I'm going to go back in time and cancel the guy who pitched The Apprentice.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm just going to kill that in the cradle so we don't have that.
That's a good
No, that's the one.
That is a surgical cut.
Yeah, I'm not killing Hitler.
There was an Apprentice game.
Solve the problem, but I think it would.
That was Mark Burnett, who also created "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?" Shark
but that's
Tank,
also
Survivor, The Voice, and the Martha Stewart Show.
I'm canceling Mark Burnett. I'm killing his career. He can never pitch The Apprentice, and I think that would save us a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I like that.
Good answer.
It's a lot better than I'm just going down my laundry list of nerdy men who got too famous. You know, none of them are nearly as good as that. It's like Joss Whedon or whatever. It's whatever.
Well, I'm gonna do just a perhaps slightly more lighthearted one and say Jack Tramiel.
Okay.
Because he kind of would always make the wrong choice for any game related company he was involved with. And this isn't something where I've chosen this because it's not something where I know what the answer would be, what the outcome would be. I just think it would be interesting to see, what if...
I just want to see what happens.
What if Atari didn't do the Jaguar? They did something else. These...
I mean, so, first of all, how do you cancel a businessman in the late 70s?
Brandon in front of this corkboard with strings and articles.
Or a live boy.
Yeah, I don't have to figure this out.
Will save Sega.
I don't have to figure this part out. We
to
didn't
bring
have
it back to the Apprentice thing, you just have if he does things that a president does now, but back in the 70s, he would be canceled. Just make him steak Heil or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say how. We don't have to figure out how it happens.
Sure.
Maybe his mom doesn't have him. Just I'm canceling him entirely.
Okay, right. Okay.
So I don't know.
I don't know who else would have bought Atari, but all right.
Well, I guess Sega.
Cancel Sega?
Atari was going to release the Genesis at one point.
Well, that was way before. That was way after Jack.
It was after Jack.
Jack bought it in 83 or 84 or something like that.
Well, again, this is speculative. So, someone would have had Atari, certainly. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Would have been IBM or something.
Yeah.
I do have one more that I would cancel that is related to video games, but is no more lighthearted than my previous one.
Go for it.
I'm going to go back in time to Blizzard circa, 2008, 2009, and fire the HR person before they can hire Mark Kern.
Ooh.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Another surgical strike.
Yeah, that's true, because then he doesn't get his one shred of credibility that he's been gnawing on for his entire career.
Well, I like the double kill there, because you got him and then also an HR person.
Yeah,
probably deserves it.
Yeah, we can. How are we going to get Palmer Luckey out of there? I guess just
why aren't we just killing Palmer Luckey?
Yeah,
whoa, we're not killing anybody. That's outside the scope of this question.
Okay.
You did not define what cancel meant.
That's true. I didn't. You got me there, Ash.
Canceled like a series.
Yeah.
We're going to go Netflix on his ass.
Yeah. Canceled in the...
Meaning we murder him at the age of 2.
Yeah. Canceled like baby Hitler. Okay. Before we go any further down this path, I think we should recollect ourselves and take a break. We'll be right back. The following ad supports the Insert Credit podcast, but is not necessarily endorsed by its individual members. This is the Insert Credit Quick Break. I'm Alex Jaffe, and this week's episode of Insert Credit is brought to you by Undercover Shot. A rat is undercover in your crew. Figure out his identity and take him out. Introducing Undercover Shot, a brand new light gun game for the NES developed by Pirate Princess Jess, with music by St. Josie. Player 1, the rat, selects a character and tries to blend in with the NPCs, while Player 2, the boss, tries to deduce their identity and shoot them with a Nintendo Zapper. The digital edition is for sale at pirateprincessjess.itch.io, but the best way to play is on your Nintendo console with a CRT television. So pre-orders for the physical edition, complete with box and manual, are open through April 27th at homebrew-factory.com. Get your copy of Undercover Shot today. If you'd like to sponsor a future episode of Insert Credit with your project or personal message, reach out to us at show@insertcredit.com. Welcome back to Insert Credit. It's time to go to the question hole. This is the part of every episode where one of the patrons at patreon.com/insertcredit, who uses the exclusive form they can get through their patronage to submit their questions to this show, get monthly bonus episodes, and other fun and interesting surprises, gets to hear that question on an episode. Sometimes I do more than one. This time I'm just doing one. This one comes from Blabbo, who asks, in the 2024 Game of the Year Best of the Rest episode, Brandon mentioned Ghost Trick as an example of an interesting and novel game by Shu Takumi, who is more well known for his work on Ace Attorney. Brandon's point was, let creators make something different. Who are some other individuals or studios that you would like to see freed from working on existing IP? What do you think they would make? So this is, who would you anti-cancel?
Yeah, who would I let do whatever they want?
Let them off the leash to go nuts?
Exactly.
It's a good question.
What's the Smash Bros. Guy named? Sakurai?
Sakurai.
Yeah.
What if he didn't have to do that? What if he just like made an indie game? I'm just curious. I don't know if it'd be.
Sure.
I just kind of want to know.
That is like God's most suffering video game development soldier.
Yeah, what if he had 1 year?
He is suffering like Greek mythological level torment.
Yeah. I like that answer because I can't think of anything else.
Original IP. What's his original IP?
The guy made Kirby and he's been punished for it the rest of his life.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think the real answer to this question, it's not as fun, but like the real answer to this question is like all of the people who are middling and junior devs who are forced to work in the developer mines for all these like big companies or whatever and could never or would never have the opportunity to make their own game because they're like a marginalized identity or something like that. Like that's the real answer, that we should free them or give them some kind of way to get their own creativity out there and funded and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if I were a billionaire, there would be a lot more art games in the world. Let me tell you.
If I were a billionaire, very soon I wouldn't.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly.
Indeed. I'd be spending that biz.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm not sure if Harvey Smith is making exactly what he wants all the time, but I feel like he could make something weirder and would like to make something weirder, but feels that he's got to make System-Z, Deus Ex-y games frequently. I wonder what he would do with a smaller budget and a smaller team. I would be interested to see what that would be like.
All right, I got one. It's kind of the same spirit as Sakurai, I think, but Professor Iwatani, stop teaching or being retired or whatever, and just give him Pac-Man back and just say, do whatever you want with Pac-Man. He once said, I think during the GDC Classic postmortem of Pac-Man, he had a slide that was like what he'd want to do next with Pac-Man, and he was just like, I want him to sing. I want to see that. I want like zero interference from Namco. I want to just like give Iwatani a team and just like hand his baby back to him and go, what's next? What do you want to do with this thing? And then get the weird game that comes out of that everyone hates.
I bet what happened is that he saw an automaton and was like, hey, that looks kind of like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
There he
That's
is.
my pizza.
I would be curious to see what Yasuhara would do. Sonic.
Okay, thank you.
Sonic fella.
Oh, sure.
Did all the Sonic maps and whatnot. What would he do if given carte blanche? Everybody loves that. God, what's his name? I'm blanking on it. But the Final Fantasy 12 director. Matsu something.
I know you're a big Final Fantasy 12 girl, Ash.
Yeah.
Give him another shot at doing something weird.
Yeah.
He did that Crimson something. I'm having a lot of trouble with these names, but that board game looking game on the 3DS. But let him do more weird specific things. I think would be cool. And also, who just doesn't have enough opportunities to do what he wants to do? David Cage. We should
gotta give that guy more.
Damn it.
Yeah, I really want to see what a Star Wars game would be like from that guy.
He's just too constrained. He doesn't think about his own needs enough. I think we should just let David Cage
David
go
Uncage.
That's right.
My joke version of that was going to be Ken Levine, but
okay, you hit 2 for 2, guys. Thanks.
Ash, you want to go for the comedy 3?
No,
okay.
I do not.
No.
That's fair. Okay, what's a question you've always had about video games that you've never been able to get a good answer for?
Why?
That's a good one.
What's the first video game?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's like 12 answers to that question. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I need a definitive one, but I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like there's so much lost weird history that we might have missed it because some wacko in a lab made something. But I don't know. We're talking like a genie gives me like infinite knowledge or whatever for whatever I ask, right? So it's like, all right, what's the first video game? Make me a good YouTube video, genie.
I mean, let me turn my chair around for a second and lay a game on you
he's actually
called...
doing it, everyone.
Lay a game on you called Fisher of Men. When you think about it, the real first gamer was our Lord Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Now, bear with me for a moment. I can't go past this because I don't know anything about the Bible.
I don't know anything about that.
He's very slow to respawn. He carries his own like health packs with him.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Jesus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He can shoot nails out of his hands, right?
Dragging that cross.
Yeah. That's how he defeats Satan.
Okay.
Crown of Thorns. That's one of his special attacks.
We know he can hover like Princess Peach because of those moments where like he doesn't leave footprints in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Crown of Thorns is what lets him stick into the ceiling and then wait for the platform, and then he drops back down.
I want to see him
take...
This is funny because, it's getting ready to be Easter, but like take it off of his head and like spin it like Sailor Moon's tiara.
Yeah.
Just like
Wonder Woman.
Wait, Wonder Woman does that too?
Yeah, she did that in the Linda Carter series. That's probably where Sailor Moon gets it.
Yeah,
I think so.
I believe it. Yeah. Nice.
Well, there's also that James Bond villain with the hat, right?
That's true.
Yeah, Mr. Hat.
Yeah, Mr. Hat.
That's not his name, is it?
When you think about it, Mr. Hat is really the first gamer.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the Hat Man, who you see if you take too much Benadryl.
Oh, Mr. Hat, I think, is Oddjob, right? Who is the famous tournament banned GoldenEye character. So it does come back around to video games.
There we go.
Nice. Finally.
Can't get away from it.
Finally.
Anyway, to go back to the actual question.
Brandon, do you have a question about video games you've never been able to get a good answer to?
Oh, I guess my joke one was, when did Super Mario Brothers come out?
Yeah.
That's another Frank-related question.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the real date. We know pretty close. This is probably an answerable question.
Yeah.
But I found myself wondering recently, how many British microcomputers were there? Different ones. There's probably an answer, but every time I think I know the answer, someone is like, "Oh yeah, I played this back on the Flumpty-Dee." Like, what is that? And then you look it up, and it's like there were 12,000 of them made. It's like, okay, and there were exclusive games for it or exclusive variants,
and it came pre-packaged, smelling like cigarettes already.
Yeah.
There was I'm at a list of British computers, and there was one literally called the SCRUMPI II.
Yeah, see? I was barely even making that up.
Is the Wonder Swan a British computer?
No, Wonder Swan is a Japanese handheld created by Gunpei Yokoi, who
Game Boy
also
guy.
the father of the Game Boy. Yeah, it was by Kodo Design, which is his company. It was kind of his last big product, and it was really cool because it was like, what if you could make something really cheap, sell it for cheap, and it had a long battery life, and then it was just like useful and good at playing games. Didn't work out, but it was a cool idea.
I do have one more question that's probably answerable, but maybe not. It's more of like a, I don't know, existential question. Is every game after Super Mario Bros. 3, because that's the one where they were like doing the play, right?
Yeah.
Is every one of game after that like us watching a play? Which they kind of pay homage to in the Paper Mario games, right?
Yeah.
Because it dials back and you see it's like a bunch of toads and whatever watching in a theater. Like, is this all theater of the mind? Is that what this is?
If the genie granted you the answer to that,
yeah,
right? Like the clouds would part and like Miyamoto would come up smiling, right? And then he'd look you right in the eye and he'd say, "Shut up, nerd." And then he would like, he would like start falling back down and the clouds would close.
Yeah, exactly like a Monty Python sketch.
Yeah.
And his mouth is
and
like...
it would be in perfect English too. Like he practiced it.
Miyamoto did answer this once. I remember him addressing this exact topic, and he compared it to like old Popeye or Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Yeah,
where
correct.
like you shouldn't really consider there to be any interconnected continuity between titles. These are characters playing roles.
I don't necessarily mean is they're all related, but are we all watching a play? Like everyone is a play. Like they're all separate plays, like, but they're all like not games. These are all plays.
Kind of, yeah, because he views the characters as actors that he plops into things.
Yeah.
So I think you're actually kind of on the money. I think he was kind of trying to demonstrate that with Mario 3.
Yeah.
I would also say with Mario 2. Which also has curtains that
does also
get drawn.
Curtains. Yep.
And you select,
That's what I was gonna say.
which actor you want to play as, basically. So yeah, I think you're actually kind of spot on.
Mm-hmm.
And basically every PC Engine game is a no play for sure.
In like when you do a cool trick in like Super Mario 3D World, there's like an audience that applauds you.
Good.
Yeah. What is the drinking 8 glasses of water a day of video games?
Oh. Not playing a video game?
I was going to say logging off.
Yeah. What is it? Nintendo Switch, the exercise game? I forget what the name is.
Oh, yeah.
The Ring Fit Adventure?
Yeah, Ring Fit Adventure.
But that makes you thirsty.
Yeah, but it's also, you move.
Yeah, but it's good for you. It's good for you. That's what the point is.
I have the answer. It's Pokemon Go.
Because you're out walking around?
Yeah, you get to touch grass.
I'm thinking not specifically a game, but like a habit that would be healthy that most people like conceptually aspire to, but don't meet.
Or when Pokemon added those pedometers to Heart, Gold, and Soul Silver.
Yeah.
That. So you can walk around. But like actually walking around and not like tying it to your dog or some shit.
Well, every day since I first got it in 2006, I have been playing Brain Training on the Nintendo DS without fail.
Yeah.
And, seriously?
You've got the brain. You've got the brain age of a 15-year-old.
Like, are you serious?
Absolutely not serious. Come on.
Same way I've been drinking.
That's believable. I believe it. You've got like some like DS.
I've got this ritual every morning.
Yeah, anytime
do
Frank is not
it.
paying attention, like when he's looking off screen, he's playing Brain Age.
Every morning I open palm slap that card right into
that like Beyonce or some grandma in Iowa has like DS. There's only one game on it. It still works. And then, all they do is play Brain Age for like 15 minutes a day.
I dated someone in like 2004 whose dad still from the early 90s just had a Dr. Mario stuck in an NES that he played almost every day. So,
that's a good thing to have stuck in there.
Yeah.
I like, by the way, that we went, the two examples were Beyonce and a grandma in.
Yeah.
Those are the two types of examples.
Yeah. I mean, if we have to picture Beyonce playing a game every day, that's an option.
It's probably Brainage.
It's better than Kelly Rowland texting people on at Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. That's something she...
Was Beyonce one of the celebrities that Nintendo got to do commercials at that time? Yeah. What was it for? Was it Nintendo?
I think it was Nintendogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's probably still playing that.
Might be. She doesn't seem like the type that would own an actual dog. So
it was Rhythm Heaven. Esper in the production.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Esper's right.
Yeah. I remember seeing that recently, and I forgot about it. It was like from a month ago, because I was like, no. Rhythm Heaven doesn't make sense.
They wouldn't put marketing spend into
they wouldn't put that much
Heaven.
money behind Rhythm Heaven. Exactly. And
now
so
it's back.
It was, and I found that out again very recently and forgot it again because my brain just rejects the concept. Like, did you all see this? Someone was sharing a commercial on the forums for Golden Sun for the GBA, and it's like this 1.5 minute long, intense, special effects driven thing where there's like a classical music performance, and then demons arrive and they're floating around, and the violinists are shooting their flaming bows at a dragon, and then a chandelier comes alive.
Oh, is this the game Kimimi keeps posting about?
And then at the end it's like Golden Sun for the GBA. I'm like, really? You spent all that money? I mean, like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But my marketing brain rejects that as a possibility, as a reality.
Oh, man. Yeah. All good answers to a question I did not ask, which was, what is the drinking 8 glasses of water a day of video games?
It's me turning my brain off and playing Picross for 20 minutes after lunch, I think, for me.
All right.
No, genuinely, like a de-stressing ritual. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to do the thing, and I ask you, is it pie cross? Is that what you mean?
No, I don't. No! Ash Parrish.
Listen, damn it. If you guys can bring up Ken Levine and David Cage in the same damn episode, give me my little treat, too.
Ash, if you spend 10 credits, we will have to pronounce it pie cross for the rest of time.
I don't have 10 credits anymore.
No, we won't have to.
You can change the games of the pronunciation of a game permanently. For 10
I'm going to
credits.
spend a credit to pronounce it my way every time I have to do it.
Once per time. You know, that's a valid way to spend them. But for now, we're going on to a very simple lightning round this week. We're going to play this in rounds, starting with a different person each time. The order will be Frank, Ash, Brandon, and then Ash, Brandon, Frank, etc. All you have to do is name a video game. Then the next person in the chain has to name a game that starts with the letter yours ended with.
Motherfucker.
If you say an incorrect game or repeat a game or fail to think of a game in a reasonable time, you're out of the round. First to win 2 rounds wins this episode's credit.
Wait, how do we win a round?
You win a round when the other 2 people are eliminated.
Oh, but what if we just go forever because it's so easy?
You won't. Someone will eventually screw up.
You think so?
I think so. We will start with you, Frank.
And you're not giving me a game, I just give the game?
You give the first game.
Kicks.
Very
QIX.
Nice. You have exposed the flaw in my game.
So I have to name a game that starts with K.
No.
With
with
X.
X.
Sorry. X, right, sorry.
Yeah, it's X.
Oh, fuck.
3, 2,
No.
1. You're out.
I reject.
Boom.
Brandon?
So there's a timeline. Yeah, Xenogears.
Damn it.
Frank?
Super Mario Brothers.
Brandon?
Samurai Shodown.
Frank?
No One Lives Forever.
Brandon? You're out of time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, how many seconds do we have?
Okay. Yeah, you have 3 seconds.
Oh, it was 3 seconds?
I missed that rule also.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. First point goes to...
Because I barely said,
Yeah, first point goes to Frank. Ash, you're up next. And this time, I'm going to provide the first game because you have embarrassed me by starting the round with a game that ends with X. Your first game is The Legend of Zelda.
So A.
Mm-hmm.
You're
out of time.
I hate this.
Brandon?
Alondra.
Frank?
Animal Crossing.
Brandon? You're out of time. Boom! Frank, you sweep the game. You get the credit. Congratulations.
I love how Brandon's hubris was proved immediately.
I knew it.
I feel like I'm getting less time.
Yeah. You are not. You're just your brain is going through every game you've ever played.
It's true.
And they're all getting jammed in the door
I have
with
one now.
3 pseudos. Of course you do. But you're out of time. Our episode ends with Brandon at 4 credits, Ash at 9 credits.
We're only doing 2 rounds? Was it 2 out of 3?
First to win 3. And Frank with 3 credits.
First to win 2.
Yeah, first to win 2.
Okay.
Do you want to do first to win 3?
It's too late. I got my credit.
It's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
Let Frank have his credit. Does anyone have anything they'd like to recommend to our audience?
But we should do this again.
We will.
And I'll be ready.
No, we shouldn't. I don't like it.
Let's not.
This might be weird. I'm going to recommend a video game.
What?
So I don't even remember how I found this. I think it was just on Steam, but it was something new that came out this week that I've just not seen anyone talking about. So I'm just going to do my part.
It's called The Blueprints. I'm just kidding. Everyone's talking about that.
Came out on Monday. It's called Peppered. It's actually called Peppered: an existential platformer. And this is something that I guess was kickstarted years ago, but just kind of quietly came out. And it's a really gorgeously rendered pixel art, precision platforming kind of thing that is Frank's favorite genre, which is jump around and talk to people and everything, and talk to weird people specifically. And there is a narrative to it that branches based on decisions you make or whether or not you win fights. There are 11 endings in this game, which sounds daunting, except that I would say about 4 hours I had seen like most of it. And I think 12 hours I had seen all of it because I actually wanted to see all of it. I think that's fantastic. It's really funny. I'm not going to call it Undertale-like, but I would say Undertale inspired, kind of has that vibe with like the kind of swiftness of the humor and the way that like video game animations and like quick camera cuts are part of the humor in the cutscenes. I think it's very funny. And I think that a lot of people would like think this is one of their games of the year. I'm not going to say everyone would, but I think there's a certain type of person, me included, where this is probably pretty easily going to end up in the top 10 because it's just really unique and clever and you get to jump and talk to people. So
sounds pretty great.
Nice. You know, I was thinking the other day, considering how often you talk about guys with big heads that jump around as a I'm surprised you don't like Bonk more.
Okay. Let me be clear. When I fantasize about like people with big heads jumping around, it's not because that's my favorite thing to play. It is because if you give me any licensed IP and say make a video game out of it, that's just immediately where my brain goes.
If Bonk had started as a comic strip, then Bonk the video game would be a perfect game.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. But if you're like Friends, the video game, like it's like 5 things with huge heads.
You give Ross a giant head. Yeah.
Can I admit something?
Yeah.
Particularly, I feel embarrassing, I guess, given how long I've known you, particularly Brandon. I always thought Bonk was a cat. I did not know that was a little dude.
Wow.
I saw a speed run of Bonk the other day, and I'm like, I was expecting a cat.
You were thinking of Bubsy?
Yeah, I was thinking of Bubsy. I realized a little bit too late. Like I thought it was a cat too. And I'm like, oh, it's just a little caveman dude.
Bonk's a little fella.
Just a little guy.
He's just a cute little guy with a round head.
Yeah, he's got an abnormally big head. Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. It's not small.
Quick Violence Island, play the theme. Who would win in a fight, Bonk or Bubsy?
Bonk.
Bonk has hearts. Bubsy is a one-hit kill.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I hope you've enjoyed this Return to Violence Island.
And Brandon, I want to be very clear. The big head platformer in my head, it's actually JJ and Jeff.
All right.
That's what everything looks like.
They do farts.
Yeah.
Etc.
Ash, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, so today is April 10th. This episode will not be out on April 10th. It'll be after that. But April 10th is apparently like video game-ageddon for PC games. The Blueprints is out today. Promise Mascot Academy is out today. A bunch of other games are out today. Check them out and go play them. I will send Esper a list of games that came out today on April 10th so she can include them in the show notes. But yeah, go play some video games. They're cool.
I got a few recommendations.
Okay.
One is check out the Galaxies Showcase. It is it's one of those shows, digital showcases, and Demon School's going to be in it.
Yeehaw!
It's going to be on the front page of Twitch. You could also co-stream it if you want to do that. Go to galaxiesshow.com and you could sign up as a co-streamer. It's April 15th, 1 p.m. Pacific. And
so one day after this releases.
That's right. No. Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we kind of put it out like Sunday night, so it's sort of
one day
after.
early.
One day early. Yeah, but check it out. Check it out. We're going to have another trailer in there. Also, some local things. The election's coming up here in Oakland, California. Vote for Barbara Lee. Do not vote for Lauren Taylor. If you can find someone who's cooler to vote for in your ranked choices, like if there's a socialist that you want to vote for, go ahead. But Lauren Taylor hates Oakland, so don't vote for him. And he's all sponsored by outside money. I'm also going to recommend again, if you're in the Bay Area, go to Yuen Hop for fresh noodles. They're so good in Oakland, Chinatown. Love those noodles. They're my favorite noodles in the universe. If they ever stop making them, I'm going to be in some real trouble because they're so good. And another one is, I bet there are places or organizations like this in other cities, but in Oakland, there's something called Macro, which is a non-police crisis kind of mitigation unit. It's a civilian-led thing, and they don't arrest people. But if there is if there are people doing drugs on your neighbor's porch, as was happening recently in my neighborhood, you can call them and they will disperse the persons or deal with they can deal with people having mental health crises and non-violent issues. And I called Macro and they came in like 10 minutes. It was very impressive. And nobody got hurt. Nobody got arrested.
Sounds great.
But they were not on my neighbor's porch shrieking anymore, which was freaking out my dogs. Anyway, that's what I have for this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Here is what I would like to recommend. I'd recommend, once again, listen to my other podcast, DC Action News. It's a 10-minute, once-a-week comic news and comedy podcast I'm very proud of that I do with Esper Quinn. I would also like to recommend that if you enjoyed this or any episode of Insert Credit, you please rate and review our show wherever and however you can. You can also support us directly with your contributions to patreon.com/insertcredit. If you'd like to sponsor our show with an advertisement or personal message or submit your own horrible buzzer, you can email me at show@insertcredit.com. You could also join our community at forums.insertcredit.com or find us, if you're not there already, on youtube.com/insertcreditshow. Wishlist Demon School, read The Verge, listen to the Video Game History Hour. This episode is edited by Esper Quinn with music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Frank Cifaldi.
I'm Ash Parrish.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
And your game has now been saved. All right.
Woohoo.
Yeah, we did it. That's 1 of 2.